Anyone who lost Mercedes-Benz car key in here? Okay. 안내 말씀 추가로 드리겠습니다. 식사를 못 하신 분들이 좀 있으실 것 같아서 저 뒤쪽에 쌓아놓은 핫도그랑 주스랑 물 드셔도 되거든요. 그래서 오늘 저녁 식사로 간단하게 준비한 거니까 좀 출출하신 분들은 식사하셔도 되겠습니다. So hot dogs and waters and juice are prepared.
저희가 이제 6시 반에 시작할 예정이니까 편하게 앉아주시고요. 음식은 저기 앞에 있으니까 편하게 잘 잡아주세요. So we'll be starting around 6:30, so about 10 more minutes. So please get some hot dogs and some drinks and get seated, please. Thank you. 여러분 안녕하세요. 자, hello everybody. Let's get seated. We're gonna begin the opening ceremony. So let's, everybody. I think we're gonna begin. So we've been delayed for 30 minutes now, so I think we should begin. Let's quiet down and be seated. If there's any seat next to you, there's some seats over there, and yeah. 이제 시작할 예정이니까요. 좀 앉아주시면 좋을 것 같고요. 물이나 이제 음료 같은 거 챙기셔서 앉아주시면 좋을 것 같습니다. Thank you so much. We're gonna begin very soon. So please be seated. 네. 자, 들리시죠? 네. Okay. Welcome everybody to HackATOM Seoul 2022. 환영합니다. So I'll be speaking a little bit in English and a little bit in Korean. 안녕하세요. 저는 크립토 서울 대표 에리카 강이라고 합니다. 반갑습니다. Hi, I'm Erica from Crypto Seoul, and I am the organizer for this event. So thank you so much for coming. And this is a second HackATOM Seoul after 2019. So it is very meaningful to me that this is happening again. It literally, brought tears to my eyes because we've been stuck during COVID and we couldn't do anything offline, and the beautiful Cosmos community couldn't come together. So this is truly an honor and a privilege to me. So thank you so much for coming. 네. 너무 코로나임에도 불구하고 아주 너무 감사드리고요. 이렇게 좀 힘든 상황에서도 이렇게 자리 주셔서 너무 감사드립니다. 이렇게 코스모스 한국 커뮤니티가 이렇게 좀 크다는 것 그리고 멋지다는 걸 좀 보여주기 위해서 시작을 했습니다. So let's begin with the ceremony, and we have a lot to cover. So let's move on. So this is how it all started back in 2000. Is Chango here by any chance? This is how it started, HackATOM Seoul 2019, and it was a very good turnout. We had amazing hackers and projects, and so as you can see, we had an amazing experience. I'm sure many of you were there for the 2019, and now it's why South Korea, right? So South Korea definitely has one of the largest, I think, strongest Cosmos communities in the world. I think so, and it's been amazing to be in that journey together. So I thought it was a natural fit for HackATOM, Seoul to happen, and so that's how I began to host this event. And how this was made possible, of course, I didn't do it all by myself. I had immense help and support from Interchain Foundation, and of course, my beautiful team members from Crypto Seoul, and of course, Local Connection, the wonderful crew that made this all happen, and you guys made this all happen. So 너무너무 감사드립니다. Thank you so much for making this happen. And a little bit of housekeeping rules before we get all started into the main order of the event. So venue is open 24/7, 24시간 개방이 됩니다. 그래서 24시간 동안 열려 있어요. 그래서 you can hack all you want, you can stay here, but of course you have to get your belongings, okay? Just because you might lose some things and you don't want to get upset, right? And parking is free, not free, it's not free, but it's available. So please be mindful of that. 주차하시는 분들은 주차권이 있으니까 꼭 받아가시고요. 여기 앞에 있을 거예요, 아마. 그리고, and I believe this is on live stream right now on the Crypto Seoul YouTube channel. So if you want to look at it again, you can go back to the YouTube channel and look at the live stream. 지금 크립토 서울 유튜브 채널에서 이게 지금 생방송으로 진행되고 있기 때문에 혹시 다시 보시고 싶으신 분들이나 이런 건 다 저희가 기록으로 남길 거기 때문에 혹시 참고용이나 배움용으로 필요하시면은 편하게 가져가시면 됩니다. And food and beverage, of course, it's a hackathon, and of course, we are full of food and drinks. So starting tomorrow, we'll be feeding you with a lot of food and drinks. So yeah, to keep you all hacking. So This is a given and a wonderful aspect of hackathons. 해커톤에서는 뭐 당연히 아시겠지만 음식이나 그런 음료수는 기본이지 않겠습니까? 그래서 그건 최대한 많이 저희가 제공해드리고 굿즈도 있으니까. So did you see the amazing goodies that we prepared? So please take them and take advantage of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we will begin with our one and only co-founder, Ethan Buckman of Interchain Foundation, and he couldn't make it himself, but he prepared amazing video for us. So let's turn on the video and let's see what he has to say. 자, 들어볼까요?
Hi everyone, Ethan Buckman here, co-founder of Cosmos, CEO of Informal System, and president of the Interchain Foundation. Sorry I couldn't be with you in person at this HackATOM, but I at least recorded a video to talk a little bit about some of the history of technology, of computing that has inspired Cosmos and that led us to be sort of where we are, and to give an outline of really what we're trying to achieve with the Cosmos philosophy, the Cosmos vision, the Cosmos technology stack, and even the Cosmos Hub a little bit. So I want to wish you all best of luck in the HackATOM and hope you're all having a great time. And again, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but let's kick off into a little bit of this history and talking about where Cosmos came from and maybe a little bit even about where it's going. So to get right into it, if we're talking about the history of computing, we're coming from a background of telecommunications and building vacuum tubes and analog kind of computing, and ultimately hitting on a new kind of substrate for building computers, this being silicon, right? And so we have this long early history of computing technologies that led us to finally be able to build silicon microchips on which we might start this new era of computing. And the first thing we did with this new computing technology, these chips, was build mainframe computers. And this seemed to be, the thing that made the most sense. And we'd build these big computers and they'd take up, whole rooms, and they'd live in basements of IBM or Dell or wherever. And this was thought to be the main way computing would be accessed and used, because it was too expensive or didn't really make sense for individuals to have their own computers. Of course, we know how that story shakes out, but just thinking about mainframes, there were many problems with mainframes being the primary way that we would approach computing. They're big, they're bulky, they're expensive, they don't permit scalability. There's difficulties in scaling them both socially and technologically. Everyone who's using them is exposed to the same software, the same substrate. They can't customize them for themselves. If the mainframe goes down, it's down for everyone. If it needs to be upgraded, it has to be upgraded for everyone in the same way. So there's lots of challenges with the main approach to computing being mainframe computers. And so while mainframes may have spawned a new kind of era of computing, they ultimately weren't really the revolution that would change our lives in the way they have been changed. And of course, that would require the personal computer and the personal computer revolution, which ultimately enabled every individual anywhere on the planet to have access to this incredible new computing technology, to now have multiple computers per person. You have laptops, desktops, cell phones, computing technology is everywhere. And the personal computing revolution, which put the power of computing in everyone's pocket, on everyone's desk, on their lap, is really what really transformed things. And what's so powerful about the personal computer is it enables each individual to be sovereign over their own computing device, to decide what kind of software goes on it, when they turn it on and off, when they upgrade it, how they use it, how it looks. It's completely within their control. What kind of computer they buy, what they do with it, and so on. And everyone, customizes their computer. They put, the stickers on it representing, the brands they like or whatever. But the point is, the personal computer really gives sovereignty to the individual to relate to that kind of computing technology in a new way that was completely different than anything that came before it, right? And so we should really think about that, the personal computing revolution, as something that completely changed the nature of the individual's relationship with technology. Of course, it didn't just stop at creating personal computers and distributing them. ultimately, all of those personal computers start to become connected to each other, right? They become interoperable with each other. So it's not just about the sovereignty over your personal computer. It's also about having interoperability with all the other computers out there. And that was really, the heart of the internet revolution that went along with the personal computing revolution. But if we think about, so now we have these personal computers, now we have this internet, and then how did things sort of evolve from there? Of course, more and more computing moved off of personal computers and ultimately moved into the cloud, which were, again, something like mainframes, but now we're in big data centers. We're computing on machines that are owned by somebody else, as they like to call the cloud, somebody else's computer, and owned by Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or whoever owns, these data centers and massive companies. And with that comes a change in the kinds of things we can use computing for, and all these new kinds of applications can be built. And the cloud enables all this amazing stuff, but still has certain problems with it. And ultimately, we move on from the cloud into a new era, a new kind of basic substrate for computing that we now know as blockchains, or what we might call consensus computing. And in the same way that the silicon microchip enabled a new era of computing to emerge, the blockchain consensus computer enables a new era of computing to emerge. It's a new kind of technology that allows us to do, new kinds of things, build new kinds of computing machines. We might call them blockchain computers, blockchain computing machines. But just like once we had the silicon microchip, the first thing we started to do was build mainframes because that's what made the most sense. Now that we have blockchain computers, the first thing we did again was to build mainframes. And you can imagine, how this story is going to unfold. There's just like with the original silicon mainframes, they were bulky, they're big and expensive, and we had all these problems with them that make it so that they can't scale to the world's computing needs. We have the same problems with our blockchain mainframes that we have today, these systems like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which builds itself as this world computer. As amazing as it may be, and as important as it may be to our future, it alone is not going to be sufficient to serve all the world's blockchain computing needs, just like mainframes in the past weren't sufficient to serve all of the world's computing needs. And so that begs this very natural question: what is the personal computer equivalent in the world of blockchains, right? Just like we went from mainframes to personal computers with silicon technology, now we're going to go from mainframes to some equivalent kind of personal computer with blockchain technology. And of course, since all of you are here at this HackATOM, and all of you are probably familiar somewhat with Cosmos and the way we think about these things, we believe that the revolution that is afoot now is what we might call the community computer revolution, right? And just like we had personal computers as a way to give individuals sovereignty and then interoperability with their personal computing devices, now we believe in a new kind of approach to computing, the community computer, that will give communities sovereignty over their own computing infrastructure, and yet still be able to access interoperability with the many other communities out there using their own community computers, right? And so this community computer revolution should really enable any community to boot up its own blockchain computing infrastructure and applications and be completely sovereign over how that community computing technology is used, the values that it represents that really enable that community to express itself, to be sovereign over itself, but still be able to be interoperable with all of the other community computers out there. So, what's the technology that really enables this community computer thing to happen? Well, it's the Tendermint Byzantine fault tolerance consensus engine that we built over the years, that is now arguably the most successful, the most general purpose consensus technology out there, that really allows any community to boot up their own community computer and build arbitrary applications in whatever programming language they want, that uses very simple, standardized consensus under the hood that's extremely robust, been very well tested, battle tested in many different scenarios, is now being used to power 50 or so public cryptocurrency proof of stake blockchains, and in the future potentially many more, both public and private and everything in between blockchains, for whatever use case, however communities want to use them, right? And that's really the power of Tendermint BFT, just being simple but very general purpose, and being able to really power this community computer revolution. But just like just like in the personal computing world, just having sovereignty over your machine wasn't enough. It was really about having interoperability and giving us an internet of computers. In the same way, we believe it's not enough to just build community computers. We really need to enable an internet of them, an internet of blockchains, right? And that's really, as you're all aware, the heart of Cosmos, this internet of blockchains idea that we can not only provide technology like Tendermint BFT to create your own community computer to serve the values of each community, but that we can also have protocols for interoperability, what we call IBC, the Inter-Blockchain Communications Protocol, to enable arbitrary communication, interoperability between these community computers, ultimately giving us an internet of blockchain. And so IBC today, very, very powerful technology, very general purpose. You can think of it like TCP as a sort of internet equivalent for arbitrary kinds of communication between different blockchains. And we've seen, we're starting to see applications be built over IBC. You can have many different kinds of applications. Some people like to think IBC, it's just, some bridge technology that Cosmos built. It's just like any other bridge technology. Of course, this isn't true. It's much more powerful than just some kind of standard ad hoc, bridge technology. We built a very general purpose transport and communication layer that you can build arbitrarily complex applications on top of. Token bridging is just the first, just the simplest, right? And so we have today something like 50 blockchains connecting with each other over IBC. You can see this image of Mapazones, beautiful website, mapazones.com, showing us all the different public blockchains today and the connectivity between them. Many of them are currently just using token transfer, but more and more we're starting to see them adopt new IBC applications, things like interchain accounts. Soon they'll be interchain security and many other kinds of applications that can be built on top of IBC to really empower and enable things we couldn't even dream of in this internet of blockchains. Okay. So we have this internet of blockchains. It's amazing. There's all these blockchains coming and going. You can think about all the kinds of incredibly innovative and experimental applications you might build, and really the collective, this combination of Tendermint BFT and IBC and the Cosmos SDK and all these tools for building chains enable community to experiment in all kinds of crazy new ways, trying lots of different kinds of applications, and some very risky, some less risky maybe, but the point is anyone, any community can really experiment with new kinds of applications in this community computer landscape. But amidst this thrashing sea of innovation, we have been building one particular blockchain, the Cosmos Hub, to be a sort of anchor in that thrashing sea, to be a very stable, conservative chain that is intended to be there for the long term, to take fewer risks, but to really be a kind of stable, conservative anchor that can always be relied on, can always come back to, that has a minimal set of features, what we might call hub minimalism, in contrast to the explosive innovation around us, right? So for instance, of course, there was Terra, which had a very ambitious goal to create a new kind of decentralized money and build a whole ecosystem around it. It was extremely innovative and exciting application that many of us got involved with and bought into. But of course, the level of risk it took in the end turned out to be too much, and that experiment tragically came crashing down. And there will be others like it, and there, communities can decide for themselves. This is the flip side of sovereignty. With sovereignty is a great power, and with great power comes great responsibility, and you can take these big risks, and some of those risks are going to fail, and that's just the way it is. But collectively, as we build out this internet of blockchains, we can build out we can take different risks across the different chains, and the Cosmos Hub is committed to taking a minimal amount of risk, to being a really stable place to support the internet of blockchains in the long term. And one way we think about the Cosmos Hub is as a kind of a port city, a place where other chains can connect to, receive basic services from. The hub can serve as an on and off ramp, a place where people can custody their assets, a very, very high security location that will take minimal risk, that might not be on the frontier of innovation and experimentation the way certain other chains might be, but is really there for the long term to sort of smooth out some of the larger volatility and to still be able to provide the kinds of services and applications that other chains in the ecosystem will need, and that they'll benefit from having such a stable, secure, conservative, very high security blockchain like the Cosmos Hub to serve them. And one of the most exciting features coming up in that sense is interchain security that will leverage the security of the Cosmos Hub, the staked atoms, to enable new chains to launch within the sort of Cosmos Hub umbrella and leverage the security of the Cosmos Hub for their own applications. And that will open up new kinds of experiments under and around the security of the Cosmos Hub, which will again change the landscape of this Internet of Blockchains we're building and allow new kinds of services to be provisioned. And ultimately, you could think about the Cosmos Hub as a blockchain whose fundamental values are those of Cosmos itself: sovereignty and interoperability, right? And as we've said in the sort of history of computing and then also in the history of blockchains, these values are really at the core of the evolution of these technologies and what makes them successful and what they enable for individuals and then for communities to be sovereign over their own computing technology and yet to still be interoperable with the computing technology of many other communities or individuals out there. And the Cosmos Hub is committed through its own application to serving these values of sovereignty and of interoperability. Okay, so where does that take us next? Well, of course, there's, blockchains have been incredibly successful in a sense. They're being adopted across the world. There's lots of different applications being built, both on mainframe blockchain computers like Ethereum, but also on community computers within the Cosmos ecosystem. And many people are excited about DeFi, decentralized finance, building, innovative financial applications where communities and people can come together and pool liquidity and do strange, fancy new things that are much more difficult or impossible even to do in the realm of traditional finance. Now, it's very exciting, and we're unlocking all kinds of new potential and reducing barriers to entry and making new kinds of financial applications possible. But at the same time, it seems there's a little bit overemphasis and overfocus on the decentralized aspect of decentralized finance. And while decentralization is great and is hugely important to what we're trying to build, it's a means to an end. It's not an end in itself. And sometimes I get the impression that focusing too much on DeFi as a sort of decentralization misses the actual, real world impact we're trying to have at the end of the day, which isn't so much, let's say, decentralization as it is about maybe collaboration. And this is why we prefer to refer to collaborative finance as the kind of thing we're really trying to build, what we might call CoFi, collaborative finance, and different kinds of applications that are really focused, while decentralization and censorship resistant and all these things are still important to them, the ultimate ends they're trying to achieve are a greater sense of collaboration and improving the relationships between individuals and communities in society and the natural world, right? And so we have, many people referring to refi or regenerative finance, but we actually want to go beyond that and looking at social impact kinds of applications and other forms of monetary applications where communities can come together and really be empowered to do things differently than they've been able to do under traditional financial regimes. And so, we have some various examples here of projects we're really excited about. We have the Regen Network, one of the flagship Cosmos projects in refi. There's IXO doing social impact bonds. And then we have other projects that are, maybe a little bit peripheral to Cosmos, but are thinking about using Cosmos technology and are really, also focused on this kind of collaborative finance approach with folks like the Resource Network that are building mutual credit systems, and Grassroots Economics also building mutual credit systems. And we have the IDCC Time Bank in Hong Kong doing really interesting work on enabling communities to trade sort of hours with each other. And then there's a kind of application we're really excited about at Informal Systems that we're actually building something now about that's called trade credit clearing, enabling communities to access, to really save on their liquidity requirements by looking at the substructure of the payments graph in a really innovative way that may actually allow us to form a new foundation for the monetary system that's a lot more nuanced and a lot more informed than just sort of, typical blockchain rhetoric about ending central banks and, everyone just using Bitcoin. There's a lot more to the story, and we're really trying to dig in on what that would actually look like. So at the end of the day, the message is that, the point of computing, the point of computers is to empower people, right? And in many ways, they've failed to. They have empowered people in some ways, but they've also empowered, mega corporations who are taking ownership over everyone's data and their lives. And in real ways, there's a sort of digital colonialism that's playing out across our social media, across the way the internet is architected, and it's a real issue. And this is why, sovereignty is so important, and this is why interoperability is so important, and this is why collaborative finance and what we're trying to build there is so important to pushing things forward, to resolving some of these issues. This is why the community computer is so critical and why the Internet of Blockchains is really the future of technology, of computing technology, of the internet, and ultimately this is why Cosmos. So with that, I wish you all so much luck with the HackATOM. I'm looking forward to seeing what you all built. Again, I wish I could be there for you, be there with you. I am there for you at least, but so good luck with everything, and thanks for the opportunity to present to you. You could check us out online, informal.systems, of course, cosmos.network, and have a great HackATOM. Take care, everyone.
네. That was an inspirational speech, right? So Ethan, also, before we move on to our actual introductions of sponsors, Ethan made an amazing rap video for us. So let's enjoy the video. 랩 비디오를 준비했다고 하니까 한번 보시죠. 네.
Hey Nate, you know we got to focus on this motherfucker. We gonna talk about these scandalous bros. I can talk about scandalous riches. I know you can. I know that's what we gonna do. We got Daz on the beat. Hey Daz, stop fucking around on the piano and just drop that shit like this here. Thought you would because was homie, but you act like you're the one and only. So disappointed cause though that shit was so phony. It's not for me, you got no loving from my closest homies. Would've paid you no mind, but though your game was up and foaming. The chain proceeds with precision, but we got stable woes. Yeah, I'm mad at you crazy, you went and played him though. He chose not to listen, and now we're stuck inside his house and can't leave without police permission. The mission's to be sustainable. From the loss, hyperfinance is just a line you know we shouldn't cross. I don't wanna see y'all in pain, but study up on Hymaninski's instabilities. Scandalous. I never liked your stable back seniority trick. Tired of watching money grabbing, crypto chasing rich. Ready to bust. In the crypto, we don't know who to trust. These riches looking scandalous. He's so scandalous. He's so scandalous and he's so scandalous. Scandalous. So scandalous and he's so scandalous. So how's it hanging? Cause markets pulling back is not so banging. I've been stressing in this crypto game, trying to do my thing. Won't be no bullshit, no ass kissing. Don't wanna see you getting tricked into your cash missing. You should be asking who is qualified to analyze. You're looking at a space where everything is narratized. Everybody, every motherfucker fantasize. We all hallucinate our fear through the scandalous eyes. This is the question of poverty, and the circus of the freak rich is something that bother me. Everybody's sprung, addicted to the yield and the fun, and we know where this is going, it all comes undone. I've been trained in the biophysics, so what you're saying, let me show you got some theories we can all revisit. Before we let them get us off guard, gotta review the stable graveyard. Crypto are so scandalous, so scandalous. It's so scandalous. Yeah, why so scandalous? So scandalous. Why so scandalous? Dangerous and ambitious. While scheming on getting riches, come up with new tricks like we addicted to fancy glitches. Currency motivated, too easily germinated. Now that we made it, responsibility can't be overstated. This is my prophecy, don't gotta get paid, but we need to anchor into local networks of real trade. The finance ain't cool, we play the fool, thinking these prices are true. We're fucking round like some punk crew. These are the tales of failed monetary schemes on the shelf where people fell to building wealth. Busting along and preaching names in vain, getting caught in the tricks, bags heavy in the game. We all wanna be ballers, please don't let the legacy of crypto be your worst banking. Realign as a community, formulate some plans for a more sustainable money. And let's not be scandalous, so scandalous. Let's not be scandalous. No, we can't be scandalous, so scandalous, we can't be scandalous. Yeah. My sympathies to everyone caught up in this. Take care of yourselves. We got a bright future ahead, but we gotta look out for each other. We gotta learn from history. We gotta think more about sustainability.
네. 박수 부탁드립니다. 우! Thank you, Ethan, for this wonderful rap video. 저 아시는 분들 아실 텐데 이든이 그 래핑을 너무 좋아하고 잘해요. 그래서 이런 걸 직접 만들었다고 합니다. 아무튼 너무 감사드리고요. 자, let's move on to the introducing our sponsors for HackATOM Seoul. So the first one is our platinum sponsor, Josh. Where's Josh? You can tell our history about a HackATOM 2019 as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Josh. It's not every day that we get to have a big Cosmos event in Korea, and I feel like I've seen most of you guys outside of Korea, so I'm actually going to just speak in Korean if that's okay. 네, 안녕하세요. 코스모스 행사를 한국에서 이렇게 한국어로 진행할 수 있고 한국 분들과 함께 이렇게 많은 분들이 오신 게 너무 즐겁습니다. 맨날 코스모스 얘기 영어로만 하다가 이렇게 한국어로 할 수 있는 게 너무 감동스럽고요. 저는 오스모시스와 그 케플러 지갑을 만들고 있는 체인앱시스라는 회사의 코파운더로 있는 이예훈이라고 합니다. 반갑습니다. 사실 저희는 3년 전에 코스모스 해가톰에 참가됐고요. 그 이외에도 진짜 많은 해커톤을 참가하면서 그냥 처음에는 재밌어서 시작했던 프로젝트들이 한두 개씩 커지고 그것들이 이제 실제로 수십만 명이 사용하는 제품들이 되는 거를 직접 몸소 경험했습니다. 그래서 딱 3년 전에 그때 이제 뭔가 리퀴드 스테이킹이라는 아이디어를 이렇게 해가톰 서울에서 만들어서 그때 1등을 했는데 지금 보시면 코스모스에서 리퀴드 스테이킹 기반 뭐 존을 만들겠다는 팀들이 막 3-4팀씩 나오고 라이도도 엄청 어쨌든 시장에서 큰 영향력을 끼치고 있고 그 외에도 진짜 많은 제품들이 나왔는데 3년 전에는 진짜 황무지 같았어요. 코스모스에서 뭔가 만든다는 것 자체가 진짜 바닥부터 다시 만들어야 되는 느낌이었고 진짜 이더리움이라는 이렇게 엄청 큰 산맥과 어떻게 경쟁해야 될까? 그랬는데 진짜 엄청 한국에서는 이런 코스모스에 대한 열정을 가진 팀들이 진짜 많았고 그리고 그 3년 전에 계셨던 분들이 오늘 또 오신 분들이 진짜 많아요. 그래서 뭔가 저희 프로젝트는 오스모시스라고 해서 이제 코스모스에서 가장 큰 탈중앙화 거래소를 하고 있고요. 그 위에서 저희는 이제 코즈모와즘이라고 해서 와즘 기반 러스트 스마트 컨트랙트를 동작시킬 수 있는 버추얼 머신이 있어서 사실 저희는 이제 AMM에 대한 유동성이 있지만 그 유동성을 어떻게 활용해서 더 좋은 애플리케이션을 파생해서 만들 수 있느냐 그런 것들에 대한 엄청 가능성이 많이 열려 있다고 생각합니다. 그래서 진짜 이렇게 많이 와주셔서 감사하고요. 진짜 네, 참 감회롭네요. 감회가 새롭습니다. 이렇게 많은 분들과 함께 할 수 있어서 좋고 네, 그거 궁금하신 점이 있으실까봐 저희가 그 위키 페이지를 따로 정리해놨습니다. 그래서 핵아톰, 핵아톰 그래서 .슈퍼.사이트에 가시면은 저희가 그 오스모시스 관련된 트랙을 진행하실 때 도움이 될 만한 리소스들 예를 들어서 뭐 라이브러리 아니면은 뭐 러스트 개발을 하실 때 뭐 이렇게 템플릿 같은 거 잡아주는 툴들 그래서 그 여러 가지 툴들과 질문하실 수 있는 링크까지 꾸준하게 업데이트를 하면서 정리하고 있으니까 거기 확인해 주시면 될 것 같습니다. 그 웹사이트는 해가톰 그래서 HACKATOM.super.site입니다. 그래서 네, 좋은 시간 되시길 바라겠습니다. 감사합니다.
All right. Thank you, Josh. It's kind of rare to see you speaking in Korean, so that's great. And I'm sure many in the Cosmos official YouTube channel are kind of clueless about this, but he is speaking in Korean. So thank you for your speech. 너무 감사드리고요. 네, 다음 스폰서를 소개하겠습니다. 플래티넘 스폰서고요. Fmos의 Fmos. Where's Fmos? Nick. All right. Let's give a round of applause for Nick.
Hey everyone. I'm not as cool as Josh and Erica. I can't do the half English, half Korean thing, so this is just going to be in English. Apologies in advance. So, can I get a show of hands from the audience? How many of you have developed with the Cosmos SDK in the past? Hands up. Wow. Okay. That's not what I expected. How many of you have developed with Cosmosm in the past? Hands up. Cosmosm? Okay. How many of you have developed with Solidity or any EVM-based language in the past? Okay, wow, that I expected the EVM numbers to be a lot lower and the Cosmos SDK numbers to be a lot higher for a Cosmos hackathon, but that's okay. We're all learning together. So hopefully, Evmos will give you guys the opportunity to show off your Solidity skills, and for those of you who don't know what Solidity is, or what EVM is, or what Ethereum even is, this is your opportunity to learn something new. My colleagues and I, who work at Evmos, we first heard about this Ethermint idea back in 2017, 2018. I think this was at a talk given by Chris Goes. And we thought it was super cool. It was super cool that somebody was bringing Ethereum's EVM to Cosmos, because we were super excited about what Cosmos had to offer at the time. They were super early to the app chain idea and interoperability. The Cosmos team, Tendermint back in the day, were the only folks working on L1 interoperability, which we thought was groundbreaking, right? And that's sort of what Ethan sort of talked about earlier, and probably Josh, if I understood Korean, right? And over time, we just saw that this Ethermint idea wasn't coming to light. And that's when my colleagues and I, back in 2021, applied for a grant from the Cosmos Hub to build out Ethermint in the form of Evmos, EVM plus Cosmos. And so for the very first time ever, Cosmos builders will be able to develop with all of the Ethereum tooling that folks over in Ethereum world are know and love, like MetaMask, Foundry, Truffle, Hardhat, Remix, etc. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty nifty. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, by the way, Evmos is EVM plus Cosmos. So if you're looking forward to building out smart contract applications, dApps, this is your chance to shine. And for the very first time ever, you'll be able to build features on an EVM that folks in Ethereum world don't have access to. So what I'm talking about are things like interchain smart contracts. So smart contracts that can make calls to other EVMs in the Cosmos ecosystem. So my colleague Loredana in the audience is going to be giving a talk tomorrow. I highly recommend you tune in to learn how to build interchain smart contracts. All right, so again, that's smart contracts that can talk to smart contracts on other chains and do things like, build like cross-chain DeFi applications, that sort of thing. So yeah, thanks everyone.
네, 감사합니다. 네, 다음은 죄송해요. 이게 새로운 게 안 나왔네요. 하나를 빼먹었어요. 죄송해요. Juno 혹시 Juno, are you here? Yeah, he's coming. Sorry about the slide mishap, but 그 슬라이드 있으면 틀어주시겠어요? Juno, 네, 슬라이드 좀 틀어주시겠어요? 네. Yeah, we have the slides for you. Yeah, yes. Let's get it out. All right. Juno, Jake, 박수 한번 틀어주시겠어요? Round of applause for Jake.
Great. Well, I'm here to sit on stage and be happy to be here. I'm really glad to be here. I'm waiting for slides. But yeah. Who's excited about CosmWasm? Yeah, CosmWasm. Future, awesome, best smart contract framework out there, by far. This is fun. Who's having fun? Who's ready to hack? Who's ready to, oh, sweet, okay. We're here to talk about Juno. Just for people that don't know about us, we're a sovereign L1 in the interchain. We do permissionless CosmWasm. You can just write contracts and upload them and do cool stuff. We have a very strong developer ecosystem, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow. And we're completely community owned and operated. Juno is a DAO. There's no company behind it. There's no cult personality behind it. It's really cool. We're cool. It's also the best way to launch your Cosmos project. You can build and iterate rapidly on Juno. You can get product market fit with our engaged community. And then you can launch your own sovereign chain and or deploy cross-chain. There's lots of CosmWasm chains. So if you build something on Juno, test it there, you can deploy it on Osmosis or elsewhere. And you can also leverage that great shared security everyone's been talking about. But mostly, we've got this amazing funding ecosystem that's brewing. We have launch pads, so you can launch your project and get funding for your DAO. We have an ecosystem development fund that's about to come out that's going to invest in your projects. We have Hack Juno. We have dev grants, and we have private investment. Many projects launching on Juno are raising private money, and that's great. But today, for HackATOM, we have 100K in prizes for you, all you. But wait, there's more. We have Hack Juno. Over $1 million in prizes for you and everybody else who's watching this online. And why not do both? You can do both. There's no reason you can't do both. And so, introducing the cross-chain CosmWasm challenge. The cool thing about CosmWasm is you can write cross-chain smart contracts that utilize inter-blockchain communication protocol and interchain accounts. And so here's some ideas. Take them, leave them, come up with your own ideas. Make a contract that allows you to swap tokens on Osmosis from Juno. Or list an NFT on the Stargaze marketplace. Let's hear it for NFTs and Stargaze. Woo! Or a DAO voting contract that uses Secret Network for privacy. Or cross-chain staking, so a DAO on Juno can stake atoms on the Cosmos Hub. Some more ideas. You can help work on cross-chain NFT transfers with ICS 721, that's the cross-chain NFT standard. The whole Stargaze team is here. We're happy to talk about it and work with people on it. I think it'll be fun. You can build awesome UI for cross-chain applications. You can write, I think this is actually the coolest idea on the list, a generalized interchain account smart contract that allows you to just do general interchain account queries and execute things. And we're always looking for testing and development tools. So build cool tools for testing cross-chain smart contracts. So go build, go win a bunch of prizes, get a bunch of Juno, and thank you all for having me. Bye.
All right. This is fun. Okay. All right. Oh, do we have to go all the way back? All right. So our next sponsor. Okay. Agoric is our bronze sponsor, and Dean, where are you? All right. Let's give a round of applause for Dean.
So I totally thought I would do this in Korean, and then I realized I didn't know any, so I apologize. Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted that this is happening and that I finally got out here to Korea to meet a bunch of people that I've talked with in Zoom meetings and at other conferences remotely and that sort of thing. It's just really great to be here. So someone asked earlier, how many people do Solidity? How many people have done CosmWasm? How many people here are programmed in JavaScript? More? No? Okay. Good. So Agoric is building a Cosmos-based, Tendermint-based, layer 1 independent zone, just like a lot of the other things that we're all building here, for doing smart contracts in a hardened version of JavaScript. So this means almost all of JavaScript with a few of the stupid things turned off, right? And the goal is all about getting out to the millions of developers out there literally that are able currently to build things in JavaScript and do so all the time, and enabling them to build smart contracts. Now, this is available and you can build on it currently, on this infrastructure on our DevNet. That's not really the focus of why I'm here. I'm here to see what people are building. I'm here to see what problems you run into in CosmWasm and Solidity and all those kinds of things, and to help bring this along. So our chain, JavaScript, Tendermint, and a framework for, that's like React. If people are familiar here with React or Vue or these frameworks of object-oriented systems, you can compose things together and you can build the next application using components that other people have produced. And that's the mechanic by which JavaScript grew to be the most popular language on the planet and grew to be the main thing that user interfaces are built in that control literally trillions of dollars every day, is the ability to have components that some expert built that you can plug together to rapidly produce something that solves your problem. And so we have the same kind of framework to be able to do smart contracts, whereas in React and Vue, it has these helpful affordances for mouse clicks and rendering. In our system, it has helpful affordances for trading and pricing and exchange and NFTs and DeFi Legos, governance Legos, all those kinds of things to be able to rapidly plug things together in the future. So where Agoric is going, early next year. This year, we're building the first use case on top of that, the first application that we built using that same framework, which is the Inter protocol. So we're working with others, not just inside of Agoric, but across the interchain to produce a stable token using the, not algorithmic, but the collateral-backed approach that MakerDAO pioneered, where it's native to IBC and you'll be able to use IBC assets, so Atom, Osmo, Juno, all those things, whatever the community determines are the right assets, and you'll be able to use them to back a stable token that you can then bring and use across all of the interchain. So it provides the kind of thing that people, the kind of stable token that we need to enable cross-chain finance using the mechanisms that we now know are robust and healthy and can provide solvency in up markets and solvency in down markets. And that will enable us as a interchain ecosystem to grow interchain commerce, interchain DeFi, interchain NFTs, all those kinds of things, to be the next sort of wave of, and the next generation of DeFi. Is the stuff that you'll be building today, connected in cross-chain applications, connected with stable coins, all that sort of thing, to be able to build the next generation of applications. So that's what Agoric's here for. I'm very excited about what you guys will be building, and I'll be around to see and help judge applications at the end. So thank you very much.
Thank you. 진 말 너무 잘하죠. 되게 말이 재밌어요. 그리고 이제 멘토로 또 활동하실 거니까 왔다 갔다 하면서 궁금하신 거 친절하게 가르쳐 주실 거니까 얼마든지 이렇게 찾으시면 됩니다. You wear the mentor badge, okay? Right there. All right. Next up is Stargaze. All right, let's give it up for Stargaze. Shane.
Hey guys, how's it going? Who's heard of Stargaze? All right, a few hands. Who's not? Oh, okay, at least one person. All right, so I'm gonna have to explain it. Stargaze is a layer 1 for NFTs in Cosmos. It launched at the end of last year. Currently, there's 2 main dApps on it. There's a launchpad and a marketplace. The launchpad is a place where NFT projects can go and launch. So far, we've launched almost 400 projects. And that's the primary market between the creator and the first buyer. And then there's a marketplace, which is the secondary marketplace, just like OpenSea for secondary sales and trades. And currently, the marketplace is doing the most amount of volume in Cosmos. And it's even doing more volume than some fairly large chains like Near, for example. Launchpad and Marketplace are both built with CosmWasm. And Stargaze, actually, before it launched last year, it was, we've been around since early 2020, and we're one of the first teams that was kind of exploring CosmWasm. And I'm sure some of you know that CosmWasm came out of HackATOM in 2019, I believe. I think it was HackATOM 3 or 4. And when we were building it, we had no idea that it would become such a huge thing, right? And it's a massive part of this hackathon now. So that said, there's probably a project that is going to come out of this hackathon that will be like the next big thing in Cosmos. We're all here in a bear market, right? And the developers that come to a thing like this during a bear market you guys are the real deal, right? You guys are here because you believe in the ethos, you believe in decentralization, Web3. So, really take this time to get to know the people around you because you guys are the real deal. So that said, Jake mentioned a little earlier that we're working on IBC NFT transfers. It's one of the challenges here. If you guys have any questions about that, you can come talk to either me, Mike, or Jake. We're all working on it. And then also, we're going to be giving out POAPs. So all the attendees here, come find the people that are wearing these shirts, and everyone gets a POAP. And also, we're giving out bad kids to all the winners. So the winning teams on Sunday, come and find us, and you guys get a free bad kid. All right, cool. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you. Next up, our bronze sponsor, Crescent. Where are you? 형연. 형연님 어디 계세요? 네, 형연님께 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Hello guys, I'm Hyung from Beharvest and Crescent. 안녕하세요. 저는 그 크레센트 팀의 이형연이라고 합니다. 반갑습니다. 크레센트 네트워크는 올해 4월에 런칭한 새로운 코스모스 체인이고요. 다른 여러 가지 블록체인에 있는 여러 가지 디파이 상품들을 한 곳에서 투자할 수 있게 해주고 탈중앙적으로 관리해주는 그런 프로토콜을 만들고 있습니다. 저희가 2019년도에 그 해커톰 참여를 했었는데요. 그때 이제 코스모스 허브 메인넷 런칭하고 얼마 안 돼서고 되게 그 열정과 그 비전과 하지만 아직은 뭐 이루어지지 않은 많은 것들에 대한 꿈이나 이런 것들 때문에 되게 감정적으로도 즐거운 시간이었고 좋은 사람들을 많이 만나서 되게 즐거운 시간이었습니다. 그래서 저희한테도 되게 오랫동안 기억이 많이 남는 그런 시간이었던 것 같아요. 그래서 여러분들도 지금 2박 3일 동안 되게 몸도 힘들고 마음도 힘들겠지만 끝까지 노력을 다 하시다 보면은 나중에 정말 잊지 못하는 그런 추억이 되실 거고 즐거운 시간이 되실 거라고 제가 장담할 수 있을 것 같습니다. 그래서 이런 그 행사를 준비해 주신 그 에리카님께도 감사드리고요. 그래서 열심히 해주시고 저희가 내일 저녁 6시부터 8시까지 워크숍을 하고 있습니다. 그래서 이제 프로젝트 하시다가 고민이 있으시거나 커리어에 대한 고민이 있으시다든지 블록체인 개발자로서 어떻게 나아가야 될지 혹은 이제 해커톰 프로젝트나 하시는 거에 대해서 뭐 기술적으로 막히시거나 뭐 아이디어에 대해서 고민이 많으시거나 하실 때는 언제든지 참 오셔가지고 고민을 상담해 주시면 될 것 같고요. 저희가 아마 계속해서 저쪽 그 부스 쪽에서도 저희 개발자 분들하고 그 디파이 아키텍처 분들이 계속 있으실 거기 때문에 오셔서 언제든지 편하게 상담해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그러면은 여러분 모두 건승을 빚겠습니다. 화이팅!
Thank you, Hyung. I'm loving the red T-shirt, by the way. There are teams in the back, and they're like all red, and it's so nice. Thank you so much. All right, our next bronze sponsor is Pro Validator. 준영, where are you? 준영님께 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Hi, I'm June Park. I'm from Pro Validator. And it's a great honor to join HackATOM Seoul as a sponsor. As many of you already know, Pro Validator is currently validating most of the major Cosmos SDK chains, including Cosmos Hub, Osmosis, Juno, Evmos, and the Crescent Hub. We try to support base layer networks along with early stage app chains in order to nurture the entire Cosmos ecosystem. We believe that the value of the chain grows as the community expands. And HackATOM is the epitome of such community building. I want to thank Erica from Crypto Seoul and the Interchain Foundation for hosting such wonderful event, and we look forward to meet amazing teams in the coming 3-day event. Over the past few months, I think the entire industry, let alone the broader Cosmos ecosystem, witnessed a series of unfortunate events. But as many of you know who have been in this space for quite a while, sometimes the industry becomes hot and sometimes it kind of cools down. But regardless of the market sentiment, I think what's important is inviting new people to the community and sharing innovative ideas through hackathons like HackATOM Seoul. As many of you recall, groundbreaking and top-tier projects were born in the bear market, and I believe that the next generation, the next array of groundbreaking projects will emerge in the 3-day event hosted by Crypto Seoul and the Interchain Foundation. I hope that all the teams who contend in the HackATOM event have good luck, and I look forward to meet a lot of new innovative teams. Thank you.
Alright. 감사합니다. 네, 프로밸리데이터 소개였고요. Next up is Constellation. Where are you? Woo!
네, 안녕하세요. 저희 이게 바뀌어가지고 저는 쌩이 아니고 저는 라이언이라고 하고요. 저희는 이제 컨스텔레이션 팀인데 제가 한국말이랑 영어랑 좀 섞어서 하겠습니다. Hello guys, I'm Ryan from Constellation. Not Sang here, so we just changed our presenter. So 저희는 지금 레이어 1 블록체인을 만들고 있는 팀이고요. 근데 저희가 지금 자체적인 블록체인을 만들고 기술적인 부분에서 여러 가지 이제 블록체인을 기반으로 만들어가고 있지만 저희가 단순히 블록체인 기술 블록체인 코어에만 집중하고 있는 팀은 아니고 여러 가지 재밌는 프로젝트들을 많이 하고 있어요. 저희가 예를 들어서 저희는 여러 종류의, 그러니까 원화 같은 여러 US 달러가 아닌 다른 화폐랑 폐기가 되어 있는 스테이블 코인을 만든다거나 탄소 배출권을 거래를 할 수 있는 플랫폼을 만든다거나 이런 프로젝트들을 하고 있거든요. 그래서 그 이유는 저희는 상대적으로 좀 지금 블록체인 생태계에 집중을 한 지 그렇게 오래되지 않은 프로젝트 팀인데 저희가 프로젝트를 진행을 하면서 배운 게 지금 저희가 너무 이른 시기에 있다 보니까 인프라스트럭처를 만드는 것과 동시에 실제로 좋은 서비스를 같이 만들어야 된다는 부분들 저희가 배웠고요. 그러다 보니까 저희는 에코시스템을 만드는 팀으로서 지금 실제로 저희가 지금 여러 가지 유즈 케이스들을 같이 만들면서 이 유즈 케이스들을 하나로 통합할 수 있는 그 허브로서 블록체인을 만들고 있다고 생각을 해주시면 될 것 같습니다. 네, 그래서 이제부터 영어로 좀 해보겠습니다. So our team is building Layer 1 blockchain on Cosmos, and our vision is to become a financial hub for the financial market, the decentralized financial market. And as a team, we are building a ecosystem, and we are putting our efforts on both to build infrastructure and to build nice use case as a D app, and the use case that I mentioned it includes something like building stable coins packed to different currencies. It's kind of, so in the end we are building a first decentralized forex market with that, and also we are building a platform that people can invest into carbon credits in different stages, and at the end with Constellation what we are trying to do is to become a single access point that people can enjoy different kinds of good services based on blockchain. And without worrying about any kind of additional exposure to unnecessary assets. So that's what we are trying to do. And also, I want to mention that we are actively hiring, and those who are interested in building interesting stuffs in a creative manner, please come to us, and we will have time to talk about our project in more detail in a workshop on Sunday. So please make some time to come to our workshop as well. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. All right. 이제 다음에는 Celestia from bronze sponsor. Is there anybody from Celestia here? 사실은 그 Celestia 팀이 그 코로나에 걸리셔가지고 지금 격리 중이세요. 사실 집에서. 그래서 원래는 저지로 오시려고 했는데 지금 코로나로 한국에서 격리 중이시라고 합니다. 그래서 좀 심심한 위로를 드리며. So Celestia is our bronze sponsor, and unfortunately, the team couldn't be here for the opening ceremony. But I believe they'll be coming in the HackATOM venue from tomorrow till Sunday. So please meet them and greet them and say thank you. And our F&B sponsor, food and beverage sponsor, is Cosmos Station. Do you want to say hi, Cosmos Station? 혹시 Cosmos Station 인사 한번 하시겠어요? 코스모스 스테이션 혹시 데이비드님? 네 저기 손 흔들고 계시네요. 데이비드님, 안녕하세요. So David, you'll see the logo of Cosmos Station in all our food and beverage cans. So in the following days, so please see their logos, and we'll be very grateful. All right. And of course, we have our supporters, Persistence Informal Systems and Interchain FM. And Interchain FM will be supporting Cosmos Hub testnet nodes, so feel free to use them during HackATOM Seoul. And now we are going to explain, this is the important part, 되게 중요한 부분이죠. Hackathon Challenge, 그다음에 이제 규칙들을 소개를 할 겁니다. 그래서, so Noam will be coming onto stage and explaining about the challenges and also about the rules. Very important. So please give it up for Noam. 박수 부탁드립니다.
What's up? How's it going? So I don't have a fancy presentation or anything. I just want to tell you about the rules, tell you about the challenges a little bit. I'm going to read a bunch from my phone as well. I hope you don't mind. Just a little bit about me. I'm Noam. I work at Interchain. I am a developer relations lead at Interchain. I'm primarily focused on stuff like the developer portal and the Interchain Developer Academy. I'm going to shill that the whole weekend. And I just want to tell you about the challenges and the rules. So it's already up on the website. So for those who aren't familiar yet, go ahead and read the website. There's 6 challenges, if I believe, right? The first one being the Interchain Prize. It's about IBC. Basically, we want to see you use IBC, do something magical with that, do something that pushes the boundaries of what IBC can do. There's a lot of opportunities to make IBC, more UX friendly, but also just to do more stuff in terms of like, for example, interchain accounts. There's a lot of ways we can improve interchain accounts. It's quite open, it's quite free. The requirement there is just that you use the IBC spec. That's the first challenge. The second one, I am doing a really bad thing with a laptop here. Yep. My bad. You okay? All right. I think I might buy a new laptop today. The Hub Prize, Interchain Security. So who's familiar with Interchain Security? Does anyone here know about Interchain Security? Raise your hand. Of course, everyone at Informal, yes? So let me tell you briefly about Interchain Security and what it is. So the Cosmos Hub is a very secure chain. We have a lot of atom value being staked that secures the chain. So the idea is instead of if you want to build your own application, but you don't want to find your own validators or necessarily create your own staking token, you can leverage the Atom token to secure your chain. So basically as a chain, you would come in and you say, hey, Cosmos Hub, could you go and validate on my chain as well? And that's a great benefit for people who don't necessarily want to spin up their own chain. They don't want to spin up their own validator set. They don't necessarily want to create a token or go through all the legal complications of creating a token. Plus, they get to associate themselves with the Cosmos Hub brand. So what we'd like to see in that specific challenge is for you to play around with that. So tomorrow, Thomas is giving a little demo about that in terms of how to do that. There's a little, Dan's going to give a little demo, my bad, yeah. Give a little demo how to do that. Basically, you can spin up your own testnet chain, for example, and try to leverage interchain security and see what you can do there. It's quite wide, it's quite open in terms of like what you can do. It's quite exciting stuff. The third challenge is the application prize, the Cosmos SDK prize. I think some of you aren't so familiar with the Cosmos SDK yet, right? Who has at least heard of the Cosmos SDK? Right, all right, okay, that's something. So the Cosmos SDK is the framework to build your own chain, basically. It's a modular system. It allows you to build your own chain. It comes with all this basic stuff like staking, token transfer. It comes with the consensus algorithm built in, IBC to talk to other chains. What we like to see is for you to either build your own module, which is basically your own little definition of the application, or to build other sort of like UX improvements for other people who want to build with the SDK. There's a lot of opportunities there to make it easier for other developers to build. Yeah, and the requirements there is just that use the SDK or use any of the components that use the SDK, like for example, Lens or any other tool that might use it. So now we're coming down to the sponsored challenges, and there's the Osmosis track, CosmWasm track. I think they specifically are requesting to build a, what was it again? Let me just go ahead and read that. You should write a CosmWasm contract that uses Osmosis custom bindings to interact with their automated market maker. Should leverage this functionality to produce some useful protocol that would enhance the Osmosis ecosystem. And then you should deploy it on the testnet and then provide a basic user interface. So if you're also wondering about how to build a basic user interface, there's a workshop for that as well tomorrow at 2. I'll show you like how to simply interact with Kepler and how to use Cosm.js to sort of like connect to a blockchain and fetch data and send transactions. Then there's the Juno track, which is also a CosmWasm related track. I think it's pretty wide open, except that they're really focusing on the interoperability part of things. So it's about basically creating a contract. I think you have to spin up your own testnet chain as well. I'm not sure. Yeah. You have to just use interchain accounts, for example. You don't have to, but there's some ideas. You can use interchain accounts. You can use, you can write a custom protocol to move NFTs, but the whole point of it is that you use CosmWasm over IBC, basically. And then lastly, the FMOS track. This is just quite wide open, as far as I'm aware. They're requesting you to just build something on FMOS or either on the testnet. You can just use FMOS.js, for example. You can use IBC transfers over FMOS to other chains. There's a lot of really options there, particularly just hook up to the testnet, write a Solidity contract, something like this, and you can, yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the challenges. A more detailed write-up is available on the website. There's also links to all the documentation that you might need to get started on that. And then sort of the rules, and I think this is the important part here as well. You have until Sunday 1 p.m. So you got a couple of days. You can work all night. I recommend you do. Get some pizza or something. We will get your submissions on GitHub. You have to send them to us. You've been signing up over there, I think, right? There's one person per team has been signing up. Your team has a maximum size of 6. If you had already signed up with a larger team, just let us know in case, because we hadn't communicated that before. Yeah, so you submit on GitHub. You send us the GitHub link, but you also have to do a little presentation. So on Sunday after 1 p.m., the judges will come by and we'll figure out the details, but every team will do a little presentation for the judges to sort of show us and demo us what you've built. The exact details of that, the timing, we'll send that out by email. So I'll send your email there and we'll send you an email with the details. What am I missing here? Yeah, of course, let us know if you're using code that already exists somewhere. Don't write the code yourself. Don't steal any stuff. Of course, you can use libraries Of course, you can use things that already exist. But if you do use something that's in the code and it's not clear that it was actually a copy of something, and just make it very specific that you use this and this and that, and so that we know that you didn't, steal something, basically plagiarized. What am I missing? I think the final thing really is be nice to each other, build cool stuff, and that's pretty much it. For me at least, does anyone have any questions in terms of the rules, or is anything unclear? I think this is a good moment to do that as well. No questions about the rules? Number of team, the max number of team is 6, yeah. Is that gonna work out for you? Yeah, all right. Anything else, any questions? Anything about the challenges? All right, we'll be here all day, the judges, mentors. Any questions, you just hit us up, we got these things. We're gonna be helping you out. And there's a lot of workshops tomorrow. I suggest you just have a look at the schedule. If you know what you're working on, find the relevant workshops, and hopefully you can get you up to speed quickly. Thanks so much, everybody, and have fun.
No worries. No, sorry. 죄송합니다. 저 노트북에다 물을 쏟아가지고. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. 살아나겠죠 뭐. 자, 그리고 and I actually want to stress that this venue, amazing venue, has been provided by. Can everybody be quiet? Shh. 좀만 조용히 해주시겠어요? Shh. Can you be quiet, please? We're not done yet, so. Can you be a little bit quiet on the side, please? 잘 안 들리시죠? 네. 좀 조용히 해주시겠어요? Can you be quiet a little bit? We're nearly done, so please be patient. We want to give a big shout out to our venue partner, which is Hanwha Dream Plus, and they gave us this amazing venue for 24 hours to hack, and that is a very rare opportunity. And let's give it up for Hanwha Dream Plus. So 나오시겠어요? 네.
Hello everyone. Welcome to this great area and welcome to this great hackathon in Seoul. 안녕하세요. 저는 드림플러스 강남센터 조정현이라고 하고요. 드림플러스는 하나생명에서 가지고 있는 오픈 이노베이션 브랜드입니다. 뭐 아시는 분들은 아시겠지만 저희도 역시 마찬가지로 블록체인 쪽 관련해 가지고 지원 사업들을 하고 있고요. 얼마 전에는 아이디어 톤을 했었고 9월 달에는 10월 달에는 해커톤 할 예정입니다. 지금 해시드랑 프로토콜 캠프를 진행하고 있기도 하고요. 다양한 형태로 블록체인 쪽에 있는 그 생태계 내에서 이네이블러가 되기 위해서 노력을 하고 있습니다. 저희들은 계속 같은 일들을 할 예정이고요. 앞으로 저희들이 하는 것들에 대해서 좀 많이 관심을 가지고 도와주시면 되게 좋을 것 같습니다. 감사합니다.
All right. Well, there are our generous venue partner, and thanks to them, we're in the middle of Gangnam, and it's a perfect location. So you guys can go out and get some good food outside, and kind of do a little run in the Tehran row. And so, yeah, I think it's a great location for all of us. All right. So let's do a panel with the judges. So can all the judges come out and 지금 그 심사위원들을 다 같이 이렇게 모아놔서 이렇게 좀 패널을 진행할 거예요. 그래서 일단 좀 let's get out and let's put some chairs. 의자 좀 놔주시겠어요? 네, 의자 혹시 의자? 네, 네, 감사합니다. All right, we're gonna set up a little bit. So just 1 second. 네, 의자 좀 준비해 주세요. All right, we're gonna get some chairs hopefully for you guys. All right, we have 8, so we have a big bunch. 의자가 준비가 안 돼 있나요? 의자는 안 되나요? Do we need chairs or no? It's all good. It's all good. All right. We're gonna have 2 의자요? 아 괜찮아요. 의자 괜찮아요. Well, you're all right. All right. I think we can.
I'll be the moderator. Yep, I do. Yeah, sure. And then we can pass this one around. Okay. I think we might be missing a couple judges. No. If you have a judge's badge, that means you're supposed to come up right now on stage.
Supposed to be judging.
You're supposed to be judging and giving some amazing tips and advice to the hackers tonight. Okay, I think it'll just be us five. There's Cheng. Yeah, it's not here yet. Yeah, so it's just Billy's not here, so I guess Cheng goes first. Okay, let's do it. So, hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here alongside these amazing judges, these amazing hackers, these amazing organizers. It's such an incredible weekend that we're all going to have together. So, for this panel, we're going to be giving you all some tips and tricks for success. Oh, Josh, great. We have you here. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, we have more judges. A lot of. Do you want to scoot over? Actually, yeah. Okay, I think we're all here. Gang's all here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself to kick things off, and then I'm going to ask a few of the folks here who haven't already introduced themselves to introduce themselves, since we're going to all be meeting with you all weekend. All right. Okay, I'm going to go first. It's great to see you all. I'm Yelena. I work at Informal Systems. Right now, I'm working on the interchain security feature that Informal Systems is tasked with shipping. So we're here sponsoring the Cosmos Hub Prize, which is very open-ended, encouraging hackers, as Noam mentioned, to build an app chain that would theoretically, use interchain security in the feature when it's live. So we're going to have a workshop on that tomorrow. So I'll also be a judge as well, supporting you as well along the way. So I'm going to ask some folks here to introduce themselves who haven't already. So Zaki, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Zaki. I have been working on Cosmos since like 2014 and co-founder of Sommelier and a bunch of other things. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Ethan Fry. I'm the father of Cosmwasm, and I've been working on IBC since 2017. I'm extremely happy to see multiple IBC live now, 1 year, and multiple Cosmwasm networks up there with IBC compatibility. So this is amazing seeing this out here. I'm working on judging the Juno Prize, and I will have a workshop tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. I will teach you how to write IBC-enabled smart contracts and run integration tests in JavaScript so you can test them chain to chain. And I want to help you all succeed in writing the first production contract-to-contract IBC connections. That has not been done in production yet. I want to see that here. I'll be mentoring you, I'll be teaching, and I'll be judging that competition.
I'm excited to see that too. I'm Dean Tribble. I'm CEO of Agoric. I presented earlier. I'm really excited to see a lot of that sort of thing. I'm excited to see applications that are cross-chain. This is one of the areas where Cosmos is just leading the world, and you get to show it off before everyone else gets there. So this will be really exciting.
I got my own. Yeah, I mean, I already introduced myself. Hey, I'm Noam. I like to throw water on laptops. For sure, IBC, smart contracts and all that, I'm all for it. I'm also very down to see people work with the SDK. I'm very eager to see UX improvements. If anyone's got some great ideas, I'm all for that.
I'm assuming I should speak English for this, or
Whatever you prefer.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, I'm Josh. I'm the co-founder of Osmosis and Kepler Wallet. For me personally, I think the apps that I feel is most compelling are like things that could either be launched today and you will find 1,000 people wanting to use it, or something that maybe it takes the next 6 months but could reach another 10,000. So yeah, just wanting to see something that could be launched ASAP. Yeah.
네, 저는 한국말로 하겠습니다. 하나 드림플러스에서 웹3 엑셀러레이터를 맡고 있는 박선웅이고요. 저희는 이제 드림플러스 상에서 맥북 5대를 드릴 예정인데, 네, 저희는 이제 뭐 다오, 저희는 딱히 특정한 트랙에 상관없이 얼마나 완성도 있고, 그리고 얼마나 진짜 여기 블록체인 씬에 들어 있는 유저들의 문제를 얼마나 잘 해결하는지에 집중해서 그런 좋은 아이템들을 수상하도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Hey folks, I'm Nick. I'm one of the co-founders of Evmos. I think interoperability is the name of the game here, as many folks have already said. I'd love to see dApps that take advantage of interchain, cross-chain contract calls built specifically in Solidity. I would love to see these as a demonstration of how Cosmos can not just reach parity with the Ethereum ecosystem and other EVM ecosystems as well, but how Cosmos can be additive to the feature sets that Ethereum offers its developers already. To that end, one of my colleagues, who's a volunteer for Avmos, Loredana, she's in the audience here somewhere, will be offering a workshop tomorrow demonstrating how to build one of the first ever cross-chain smart contracts in an EVM setting. So we have multiple EVM chains running at the moment where you'll be able to do cross-chain calls with Solidity smart contracts. And then on Sunday, I'll be talking through some of the exciting features coming to Avmos, things like cron jobs, account abstraction, gasless transactions that can be paid for by the deployers, as well as how developers themselves can build cash flows for themselves in order to fund their projects sustainably in the long term, aligning incentives between all stakeholders on chain. So excited for you guys to attend those. My colleagues and I will be in the audience helping you out build with all of the standard Ethereum tooling, but in Cosmos. Thank you very much.
All right. We're going to have a couple more questions because I think it'll be a good discussion to have around success and maybe some tips and tricks. But so far we've heard from the judges, cross-chain, interoperability, smart contract development. These seems to be themes this weekend, so definitely a lot to work with. But a few of you have actually participated in hackathons before. Some of you have won prizes. Maybe some of you have won multiple prizes at multiple hackathons. So for some of you that have experience in this format, doing this type of thing, what are some tips and tricks? So maybe Josh, I'll start with you, and then maybe Ethan.
Yeah, sure. I think building a hackathon project is. I think sometimes you kind of feel the need to finish a very grand project. I don't think that should be the intention. I think the thing I've always enjoyed is having a core thesis or a narrative on this solves this problem that you can't currently do right now, and that how that's solved can be a very simple thing. And it can be a very complex thing, but rather than trying to build a very production-ready, chain, back-end, front-end, and all of that, I think focusing on one specific area and just solving that well is much better than trying to kind of do a little bit of everything. So yeah.
That's great advice. Ethan, I'll pass it over to you for some tips for success.
Yeah, I think one of the main things is communication. So you don't just need to code to the last timer and then have a bunch of code that no one knows what it is. I think the first part is actually focusing on writing the README and writing a little doc. This is what we're building, like you said, the problem you're solving, but then what we actually built. We're building this. Here's how it works. So either you have a little, if you don't have a UI, you have some README explain how to run it, or you have a little web UI that someone can click on and see how it works. So there should be a way of interacting somehow. So a person, I'm a developer, I'd be judging, other ones, if they're developers judging, they can maybe use a CLI. You should have a way of me looking at it and trying it out. For the first Cosmos one, we had a simple web UI, we could click on a contract and do something. A very simple UI, but we had a way of interacting with it. So I think that made it more impressive than saying, hey, we have a back end, but you can't use it. So having that UI, even very, very simple, it can be ugly, or is very, very useful, and a description of what it's supposed to do. And also, just focus on the happy path. The happy path means if everything is right, it works. If you hit the wrong button, the thing crashes. It's fine, doesn't matter. This is a hackathon. You're showing we're able to achieve this. It's not ready for production, but if you click these buttons, it works. It's never happened before, and it does work. And we'll make it more robust later. But just focus on happy path, explain it, let people understand how it works. And then, yeah, of course, the code should be somewhat readable, but it's a hackathon. We know you're up all night.
We only have a couple days. So we have, documentation, readability, good ideas. Don't strive for perfection. Strive for, good ideas, creativity. I think that's really good advice. Maybe I'm not sure how much more time we have for the panel, but Dean, one of your obvious, missions with Agoric is, mass developer adoption, onboarding into Cosmos. Do you have some tips and tricks for the developers here tonight?
So I did want to, sort of echo the, end-to-end real problem, end-to-end concept with something that the judges can see that's concrete, but it's really just the proof of concept. So that's really worth echoing. But for hackathons, using multiple elements of the technology is also a good strategy, right? That, everything people have said here is really important, but the other thing from a scoring or prize point of view as a practical matter is, if you're not using IBC, well, think about whether that's part of the problem you're solving. If you're just going to solve a small problem that's really important and critical, that'll still be valuable as long as you've got an end-to-end story about how does that fit and how does that solve a problem. But there are several really cool components in the ecosystem here that we've got, from IBC to CosmWasm to Kepler integration to Evmost, everything else. Pick some set of those that reflect your problem and include them. And that's just one of the things that gets visible attention.
Amazing. Wonderful advice. Zaki, I'm going to pass it over to you. You're involved in multiple Cosmos projects. What advice do you have for the hackers this weekend?
So this is one of the first hackathons where you can build on top of interchain security. It is a really exciting new feature. The folks at Informal are going to be doing a presentation about it tomorrow. One of the things that's really interesting about it is, Atom has not been an L1 in the sense that you could build on top of it before interchain security, and now Atom is becoming something that you can build upon, and so it'll be really interesting to see projects that have both a compelling reason why you would build on the Cosmos Hub rather than launching a separate zone. How can your economic alignment and your security alignment and the neutrality of the Cosmos Hub and the network effects of the Cosmos Hub sort of enhance whatever you're building?
Yeah, that's really good advice, and I'll add to that. This weekend is about coming up, again with these innovative ideas and projects that doesn't end after this event ends. It's something that you can take to production, definitely to co-completion, definitely through audits, and really take it the long way. It's not just about one-time prize. It's about really kind of launching a great idea and definitely interchain security and other ways that we've heard tonight, whether that's leveraging CosmWasm, whether that's building something on top of osmosis. There's multiple ways to launch in Cosmos. So it's definitely just the beginning. And I guess unless someone has any final thoughts, I think we can get started. Does anybody have final thoughts on the panel?
Sure. One last piece of advice, I guess, that any engineer should know, just not just at a hackathon, is ask questions, ask a lot of questions, and ask them early, because the more time you waste sort of just wondering what to do or how to get unstuck, that's time that could have been spent building. So I guess everyone up here is willing and eager to answer any and all questions. There are no stupid questions. So don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, we have the judges, we have the mentors, and we have a full packed weekend of hacking, building, and having fun. So yeah, I guess round of applause for all you for being here, and let's get started. Great, thank you. Sorry? We're finished, right? Yeah, we're finished.
All right. Well, let's give another round of applause for the judges, and we are going to go and start hacking now. So can we just ready, set, hack, maybe? Okay. Yeah? Ready? Yeah? Ready, set, hack! 감사합니다, 여러분. 감사합니다. Thank you. 감사합니다.